Please, if you're watching this, stay with me until the very end. Every word I speak carries a piece of the truth that nearly ended me. What happened in that place isn't just a story, it's a warning. And if you miss even a single moment, you might not understand how close this nightmare could be to your own reality. 1. The unexpected letter. It began with something seemingly harmless, a letter. A sleek envelope arrived at my small apartment one foggy morning, with gold-trimmed edges and a wax seal bearing a crest I had never seen before. Inside was an invitation, handwritten and poetic. The letter claimed I had distant relatives in England, aristocrats, no less, who had traced me through a genealogy site I once signed up for as a joke. They were thrilled to have discovered the last living descendant of their family line, and they wanted to meet me. The trip was all expenses paid. A luxury flight, a weekend in a grand estate nestled in the English countryside, and a welcome into the family legacy I never knew I had. I was hesitant, but curiosity got the better of me. How many people get offered something like this? I said yes. That was my first mistake. 2. Arrival at Ashcroft Hall. The estate was something out of a Gothic novel. Towering spires pierced the gray sky, and ivy strangled the walls like claws. The iron gates creaked open as the black car rolled in, revealing rows of statues that looked far too lifelike. Inside, the halls were grand and echoing, with eyes from oil paintings watching me pass. The staff was eerily polite, their smiles mechanical, their movements too smooth. I was introduced to my cousin Alaric, a tall, graceful man with sharp cheekbones and cold, pale eyes. He welcomed me with practiced warmth, saying how proud the family was to bring me home. The other guests were charming and attractive, all part of the extended family or close friends of the house. But something felt wrong. Too many doors were locked. Too many eyes followed me when they thought I wasn't looking. 3. The night whispers. That first night I heard things. I couldn't sleep. The bed was too soft, the silence too deep. Then came the scratching behind the walls, the soft sound of whispers in a language I couldn't recognize. I left my room to explore. The hallways had shifted somehow longer, darker. I heard someone breathing behind me, but every time I turned, I was alone. I found a servant's stairwell and followed it to the cellar. The air changed. It was colder, wetter. Then I saw them, bodies hanging upside down, alive, drained. Before I could scream, a hand clamped over my mouth. A maid, her eyes wide with fear, whispered, "Run, before they bind you to the blood." 4. Revelations by candlelight. I confronted Alaric the next day, but he just smiled. "You've seen more than you should," he said, "but it was bound to happen." At dinner that evening, everything changed. The room was lit only by candles, the air heavy with incense. Alaric stood to give a toast. "To the awakening of our legacy," he said, raising a black goblet, "and to the return of blood to its rightful place." Then came the truth, unveiled like a grotesque painting behind a velvet curtain. They were vampires, ancient, aristocratic, powerful, and I was the missing link, a vital piece of some twisted blood pact. My blood would complete their circle, a new cycle of immortality. 5. The binding ceremony. They dressed me in ceremonial white and brought me to a stone chamber beneath the manor. The walls were etched with runes that pulsed as if alive. Candles flickered in rhythm with my heartbeat. Alaric stood before a stone altar, the others surrounding him in silence. He spoke ancient words, and the air turned thick with energy. A chalice was filled with my blood, taken by a silver dagger. I felt my strength drain with each drop. Then, the maid who had warned me earlier threw herself between me and the altar. Chaos erupted. She had been part of a secret rebellion within the house, those who had been turned against their will and wanted the bloodline broken. It was my only chance. I ran. 6. Fire in the blood. I grabbed a torch and ran through the cellar, setting fire to the ancient tapestries and books. The flames spread like fury. Screams echoed behind me, some in pain, some in rage. The house burned from the inside out. Stone cracked, wood crumbled, and smoke choked the air. I escaped through the forest at dawn, bloodied and half-conscious. Somehow, I made it back to the village. I collapsed at the steps of the church. When I woke, I was in a hospital. No one believed my story. The estate was gone, reduced to ash. No records of my relatives. No photos. Nothing. As if it had never existed. 7. The hunger remains. It's been months since I escaped, but I'm not the same. At night, I dream of blood. My senses are too sharp. My cravings too strange. They fed me something before the ceremony, just enough to link me to them. I can feel it, a thread pulling tight. I fear the blood has begun to change me. This story isn't just a warning. It's a confession, because someday I might not be a survivor anymore. I might become the invitation. If this story chilled you even a little, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Give the video a like, leave a comment with your thoughts or theories, and share the story with someone who loves a good scare. You might just save them from accepting an invitation they should have ignored.